Hello everybody and welcome back to the Library of Babel. Okay, so I know I got some splaining to do, so I'm gonna do that very quickly. So it's been a bit since the last Babel episode, and yeah, so if you recall, I promised that when we defeated all 4 of the current fights, we would go to the next episode. Yeah, that still hasn't happened, but I think I'm gonna settle for like 1 or 2 fights, and I think we're just gonna settle on that. That way we can actually have some progress. I've said it in other places, but I'm gonna say it here as well. I do apologize that this episode took so long. There was one part of it where, I'll be honest, Babel made me real mad. Unrealistically angry. Probably because I had some other stuff going on too, but still, it's been a hot minute. So, yeah. Technically, there was one episode that I fully recorded, edited, but didn't upload, and it was effectively me waving the white flag. It just didn't feel like I was going to permanently quit Babel, so I never uploaded it, but technically there was a surrender episode that just never saw the light of day. So, you might be asking, Shadow, how much progress did you make? Well, let me show you. Let's see here. So, ignore that. We managed to kill 1 whole Carnival. I know. Incredible. Incredible. That is the extent of how much progress I've made. So, yeah, you know, it's quite a bit of progress that I've made in the meantime. I did also read out the passives and everything of a certain general reception, but since that episode isn't going to see the light of day, I will do it again when we go to that reception again. But, yeah, so, promise is a promise. I said I'd be back, and here we are. So let's make some progress. Holy crap, dude. I think I'm actually gonna do it! I don't know what happened, but this fight feels so much easier. Gamma falls. Alpha falls? Question mark? Alpha falls now. It's only beta. Dude, we've almost actually beaten the fight. Dude, first try. There's no way. There's no shot. I take a break for this long, come back, and immediately win. There's no shot at all. Well, you know the deal. Take him out! Dude, are you serious? What a good idea to take a break it was. What a fantastic idea. Oh my goodness. I guess it really was fatigue that was holding me back as much as it was, because, dude. Now, okay, granted, fatigue definitely plays one part. However, I also think that there has been more than a handful of updates since I last played, so honestly, some things might have just gotten a bit easier as well. Like, for example, one thing I noticed during the fight, and I didn't really notice as much as I should have until afterwards, is that there's like little animations when... Sorry, just thinking out my move. Yeah, little animations when you do certain things. Like, for example, status effects and whatnot have like a little pop effect to them. I'll show you in just a second, but overall, 1 victory is all I needed to get the wind in my sails. Here we go! Slice coming down. Look, see that animation? It's like a lot more poppy than what I'm used to. Now, I don't think that we should be... Okay. Don't think that we should be splitting our attention as much as we are. However, I need to get a feel for how this fight goes again. We could go Echoes of Beyond. Honestly, I think I'm going to. Let's do it on Ciara.
Scenes, nerve, focus, movement, see, exist.
Okay, this is gonna be brutal no matter how we do it. Also, this is a new icon for Echoes, I think. Let's see. I'm gonna... You know what? Actually, genuinely, if we can get Flip out of this fight as soon as possible, he retreats at like half health or something, right? Off memory, at least. I'm gonna go double dried up on Ciara. Hopefully we don't get staggered. -1 dice power and guard. Stagger damage down. Oh, no. Okay, let's try it. And then let's go for your shield. Actually, that's probably not going to work. Let's go for her. Let's try it. Okay, dried up. We already know that's not going to work, but we're mainly using it for next turn, not so much this turn. Commandering from Sean 1001. Unfortunately, doesn't work at all. Ow, ow, ow. So much burn. That wasn't worth it. Okay, let's protect Sean. Okay, little bit of healing, little bit of stagger damage. Ooh, so intimidating. Let's see. 4 to 5. So it's 3 to 4 technically. Now, what if I just ignored your mechanics and just went for the Giga Burn? After all, Sean is about to die regardless. Ciara, if we go for one-sided attacks, I think we can do some good damage to Flip. Let's see, I'll try Avert. And then let's go for a Wait Up. Then, actually... Okay, we're kind of sacrificing Sean here, but let's see how this plays out. Oh my, 82? Oh! Oh! Huh, that's a lot more stagger damage than what I was expecting. Okay. So, good to know. This fight is still kind of off the menu for now, but still, wind is still in my sails. You might have 300 million billion power. But I have an energy drink IRL, so what are you gonna do about that? Here we go!
Bullets!
Okay. Indexing. I'm not gonna say that it worked. Wait a minute. Did violence get changed? At the start of each scene, gain stagger resist missing by 41.25 violence. If owner staggered, gain max violence next scene instead. On Clash lose, gain 1 violence next scene. After bursting tremor once per scene, per page, gain 1 violence. Violence is plus X by 2 dice power, and oh, that's really interesting. So Yesod is like giga tremor burst. Okay, after bursting tremor, gain blunt damage up. Interesting. Clash wins, charge, damage up. Huh. Okay, well, I'm gonna go for the Tremor Burst and just hope for the best. Now, we survived turn 1. She's going for Bullseye again anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Ugh, but look, you see all those status effects? I think that we can make something work here, although range always goes first, actually. Hear me out. We could still make this work. Let's gamble. Yeah. Yeah, this'll work. Alright, it didn't work. Alright, ooh. Why couldn't you have used this one last turn? Freaking take the shot. Oh, whatever. Now you decide to use it. Look at that stagger damage we got. That would have been insane. Oh. Ah. Okay, so it might have been not beginner's luck. Well, I mean, with the amount of time that I took for a break, honestly, beginner, but we can do this, right? A couple hundred losses, nothing we're not used to.
Let's do this. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's painful. All of it is pain. Oh, it's all pain. Oh, all of it. There's nothing but pain in my life.
Oh, whatever. Dude, that's insane. What is it? Oh my god. Like, now you only use one page? Whatever. Dude, this game sucks, bro. I hate this game. Ay. Number of Clash wins with page ruptured through pages. Oh my god. On kill, gain 2 ammo, really. Well, I'll tell you what, we're not winning any clashes, nor are we really doing much of anything, so goodbye. Leon death sound. Okay. Ooh, my laughter and giggling and my sense of winning is not gonna last long at this rate. Oh my god. So let's think. Technically, we could do some general receptions now, but I kind of feels like maybe that's just not the play. So let's think. We got bullets, and then we got fire, and then I forget who the last one is. Right, it's pure paralysis, right. Honestly, this might be our best shot, because we've, despite it all, have managed to defeat the freaking, the Carnival. See, they're gonna be rough, but at the same time, I feel like our best shot is gonna be against these guys. Like, I honestly do think that. Let's not say it's going to be easy, because it's far from it. But what do we want to do? Do we want to singleton people down? I think we ignore Alec. I think the play is to just ignore Alec and just say screw it. You know what? Bono. If we leave Bono alive, he's really, really powerful later. Let's go for Bono. Let's just all in Bono. Let's do it. Okay, a bit painful. Everything's fine. Low rolls, but we do get a tiny bit of damage. Oh, we don't manage to hit our big stagger. Okay, more paralyzed. That's not quite as fine as I thought. Plus target paralysis times, plus target paralysis. Now that's interesting. Now that's real interesting. So you have 6 paralysis, which means I get a multiplier to that. Now hang on a minute. I think I'm putting together a little combo here. You just give me a minute. I'm... Dice power. Could go for a brawl, 50-50 it. I think I'm gonna do just that. Sally, let's go for a feast because I want to try and get some healing. And then same deal here. I want to try and get some healing. At the very least, we'll get 3% of our health back. Ouch. Okay, hang on. There's potential here. There's like some serious potential here. Wait a minute. Huh. That is really interesting. So, actually, we could actually kill Bono this turn. You know what? We should go for it. We should go for it. You are... Oh, but I'm a little scared of that. So -2. Let's try and protect ourselves, and then let's go for cut in. Then Mr. Rolando. Let's go for daring decision. And then go for alert to try and kill Bono. Oh, we didn't hit the big one. Wow, and we didn't hit anything on Raichu. Oof. Hang on, though. Hang on. Stick with me. Because this is something. By the way, your hindrance gaining some extreme-like power? Okay, so I don't think we win this time, right? I think that's a fair thing to say, that I don't think that we're going to get them this time. Also, I forgot that Bono gets +8 power, so clashing with him is just a no-go all around. But, so what if I did this? And then I went here. Let's try this. We gotta experiment if we're gonna win. Oh my god, he just hit for 120 damage. Oh my god, he just hit for over 50 damage. Eee, that's real scary. Huh. Okay. Right, yeah, that makes total sense. Okay. So hang on a minute. So if we do will be tasty, how badly is that affected by paralyze? So -4 max. So that means it rolls 4? I think. Am I doing that correctly? I don't even know if I am. You know what? Roland is dead, right? We can all agree on that. But maybe we can potentially take Bono out. We certainly got close. I don't know if we're gonna kill him, but honestly, if we can, that's gonna help us out a lot. Ah, Alec is faster than us. Ah, we're dead. Dang. Okay, hang on though, hang on. Because we've got something here. Yeah, Alec is faster than us. Oh, he doesn't kill though. We killed Bono. It's still progress. It's still progress, dude. We're making progress. I am 200,000% using bonus page. I'm sorry, but look, I need the edge. Here we go. Ow. Oh my god. Whoa, that is a lot of stagger damage right away. However, that wasn't our observed, but this one is. Oh. Alright, well, that's fine. I guess we can afford to avoid a couple hits. Yuri, unfortunately, is already staggered, but Mr. Yesod is very ready to go. Binding arms! And we're also going to use Observe. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stop this absolutely insane opportunity spotted that's about to happen, so, you know, that kind of sucks. But what we can do is we can go for cut in and hope for the best. Oh, we didn't get staggered. Okay, tiny bit of damage on Bono. Binding arms, dealing just an incredible amount of damage on Dalek. Okay, opportunity spotted. So Yesod is buffed once again. Repetitive pattern recognition on Mr. Yesod. That way we can get some more charge to spend on our pages. Unfortunately, right now, we're not really able to do a whole heck of a lot. So I am just going to try and get some damage. We have so much paralyze on us right now. I'm going to try to go for Observe. And then I'm equally going to try to go for Shocking Blow. Then we go... Actually, that might just flat kill us. Dice Power. Well, it's not at 0 yet, so let's try. And then you are faster, so honestly, we might die before we're able to do much of anything, but let's attempt to get some damage out. Okay. Ouch, Ori is now staggered as well. Ah! So using their Paralyze against them, I feel like was an okay plan. Issue, they use their Paralyze a lot better than we do. Let's think. We were actually quite close to killing Dalek. If we can kill Dalek, then that gives us a lot more options. Alternatively, we could go for the General Reception. Gun Reception is never going to work right now. Honestly, if we're gonna deal with Full Stop Office, we need to beat this Reception first. Gaze Office needs to die so that Full Stop Office can die. And then, honestly, I don't know what the heck we need for the Flip Clan. We might even need Full Stop. I think, if I'm braining correctly, I think that's the order we need to go in. We do this Reception, then we do Full Stop, then we do Flip, then maybe we do the General Reception so that we can get the, so long as allies are alive, everyone's buffed. We could try to do it right now, but based on the, you know, video that will never be uploaded, I don't really think that's happening either until we've at least beaten some more. Alright, I think I've came up with the strategy, and it's called Bleed. So let's try. And I will introduce you to our newest member of Hod's Floor in just a moment. Probably when we die. Okay, good stuff. Tailoring does not work out, but the second tailoring does. Fend this off while you can. Would be tasty. Okay, Hod recovers. Oh, wait, no, doesn't recover yet. Okay, so Fascinating Fabric is good, but I don't think it's gonna be quite that good. So what I'm gonna do is go Baba Boy. Then we're gonna go for some tailoring right here. I'm gonna go for Appetite because it is free. Then we'll go for Will Be Tasty to get some more bleed. Hod, unfortunately, is going to die, but that works out for us. Ow. Okay, a little bit unfortunate, but it helps us out next turn. Tailoring, the first one doesn't do anything. More bleed. Excellent. Obsession. Blood. Blood. Okay. Our goal here is mainly just to kill Dalek, honestly. I don't know how well that's gonna work out at this point. So let's see. Max of 8. So you're gonna have like unlimited power. So I'm just gonna ignore you and go for double tailoring. Then let's make some fine silk, and we'll also go for an appetite to try and get some free damage. We're pretty buffed, so let's hope it's enough. Okay, well, apparently not so far. Oh, Dalek is dead! Yes! Yes! Works out for me. Okay, so that is 1 dead. Don't worry, guys. We've only got 2 more to go. So, you know, not even that bad if you don't think about it. Well, let's try and get a little bit of value, get as many kills as possible. Alec is going to completely wipe the floor with us, so there really isn't too much to do. So let's make some fascinating fabric and hope for the best. Ugh! The pain. Ow. Firenze, unfortunately, does go down. All right, Anise. You're full power. Let's see what can be done. You're using Fascinating Fabric, which we can safely ignore. You are going to hit us hard. Do you think we can kill Bono this turn? Our next attack is going to deal 5 fire damage. 10 burn. Jeez. That was real difficult to get out. We could technically go for Fine Silk. Alternatively, we could go for a tailoring. Really, we're not fast enough. Okay, well, let's go tailoring. And then let's go for some Fascinating Fabric to try and keep ourselves alive. Ooh, if we get staggered before anything else. So, unfortunately, that's the fight. It went better. It certainly went better. Bleed build, oddly enough, was working. But now it's time to introduce you to Anise. All in all, this is a character from Chucky, because don't worry, I did not forget all of your guys' characters, and I will be adding them when we actually get to it. Now, that being said, this floor, very, very basic setup. Hod, Firenze, and Anise are all using the Carnival, because we're attempting to bounce off each other, get enough Fascinating Fabric into their hands to where they're not able to use their really good stuff, and we're able to overpower them with bleed. Of course, that, didn't really seem to work out, but the idea is there and eventually will work out. Passives are pretty much all the same: Hook, Rampage, and Half-Baked. Courage on everyone except for Anise, who has Protection Work, Burning Vengeance, and Follow the Lead. Debatably, we should just quadruple dip into the everybody dies thing, but meh. Well, we do have a new page being Dalek, but what we can do is we can go after the Workshop affiliated fixers. This is that general reception that I was telling you about that we were able to go after. Don't get me wrong, I don't think that we stand too big of a chance against this either, but it's something different. We're like crawling and clawing our way to progress here, but it is happening. So, Workshop affiliated fixer, 280 health, 125 stagger, resist, weak, normal, weak. They deal 10% more damage, but take 20% reduced damage and stagger damage. Nimbleness, steady position, plus number of living allies present times 2, all damage. Upon taking lethal damage, get staggered to recover stagger resist HP. So you'll recover 125 stagger resist, for example, and gain 2 strength, endurance, and protection next scene. When staggered, recover from stagger next scene. Solidarity. At the start of each scene, gain 1 minus number of staggered allies' strength and endurance, or feeble, disarmed, fragile, and susceptible at negative amounts. I don't know what that means. When redirecting from another ally, dice gains 1 plus allies' percent stagger resist missing by 40 speed. Lend a hand plus percent stagger resist recover this scene by 12 minus number of living allies subordinate present times 2, max of 2, dice power. And then plus number of other living allies present with lend a hand times 15% stagger recovery. Companionship, plus 2 dice guard, damage, and deflect at 0 dead allies. At the start of each scene, lose 2% of max stagger resist, and lowest stagger resist ally recovers percent stagger resist loss times 2% stagger resist. If ally or owner is a subordinate of the other, recover 2% of max stagger resist. So basically lose nothing. High speed stabbing. On use, restore 1 light. On clash win, dice power +1 for the next die, and on hit, gain 1 haste. Mend weapon. Combat start, gain 1 pierce power up. On use, restore 1 light. On clash win, recover 3% of max stagger resist. Stab and detonate. Combat start, gain 1 pierce power up. On hit, recover 3% stagger resist, and then 2%. And wet. Combat start, gain 2 pierce damage up. On clash win, restore 1 light. On clash win, draw 1 page. And triple refine. Combat start, gain 2 pierce power up. On clash win, +2 power for the next die. On clash win, +1 power for the next die. And on hit, recover 3% of max stagger resist. So needless to say, staggering them is not an option. Plain and simple. Staggering them? Not gonna work. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to make some fine silk, and then we are going to fend this off while you can. Then let's make some more fine silk. Fend this off while you can. Then, ooh, we don't have it again, so I'm just gonna go for tailoring and appetite and hope for the best. Here we go. Ow, bit painful, but we do have a tiny bit of bleed on them now. Yeah, this is about how the fight went when I took it on in the now deleted video. Not very good. They get so much power, and because they are immune to becoming staggered, it's not the easiest fight in the world. So I'm gonna try and win that clash, and then we will try to will be tasty, but +4 pierce is not very good. Not to mention they also have the +1 strength. Can't go for tailoring as much as I wanted to, so let's go for will be tasty to try and get back a little bit of health, and then we'll go for appetite for a bit more bleed. Tailoring has a tiny chance, and then we'll go for another will be tasty. Here we go. All right, staggered immediately because of that +5 power. Yep, this is going exactly how it did the first time. And the previous time, we did not have the Carnival pages either, so... Woo! Let's go for tailoring here. Will be tasty, should be an easy win here. We do have a bunch of extra stats, so let's make some fine silk. Let's make some more fine silk. And let's roll. Okay, we get staggered before we're able to do anything. We get staggered again before we're able to do anything, and that's the fight. So yeah, needless to say, this is why I don't think that we're doing this general reception either, because, good lord, That blissful feeling I had from winning on the first fight, it's gone. Oh no, this won't do. You're really going to try and take on the Kurokumo before taking anyone else on? Foolish. This is oh yeah, this is not happening. I wanted to see, right? I wanted to take a little gander just to see if maybe we could do the tier above them. No. No, I don't think that'll happen. Oh my god. Yeah, this is not happening either. Oh my dear lord. Well, I wanted to give it a little look, and now that I've had my look, it's back to suffering. Sorry if you hear my fan. It's hot. Okie dokie. So, very quickly losing the will. So we're gonna try another general reception. The Rusted Chains, which Firenze wants. Normal, weak, normal, endured. 30% more damage dealt, but takes 20% reduced stagger damage. Blood Rush. Plus, bleed gained through pages last seen by 6, max of 2. dice power, and received all bleed damage and stagger damage. After giving bleed to self through pages, gain 2 bleed and 1 bleed up. Subliminate. Minus bleed times 3% received damage and minus 2 received all bleed damage and stagger damage. After giving bleed through pages to self, gain bleed gained as shields. Twist Wound, plus target's bleed by 3, max of 3, damage and stagger damage. On hit, if target is staggered, deal target's bleed by 2, max of 9, bleed damage. An Open Wound. On hit, if target has bleed, inflict 2 bleed this scene, and 1 bleed next scene. I don't think we're doing this.
Want a taste of this chain?
On use, gain 3 bleed next scene, and restore 1 light. On hit, inflict 2 bleed next scene.
You're soft!
On use, gain 2 bleed next scene. On hit, inflict 2 bleed next scene. On clash win, inflict 2 bleed next scene. Flank Attack. On use, gain 4 bleed next scene. On clash win, inflict 3 bleed next scene. On hit, inflict 2 bleed next scene. Here's my chance! On use, gain 6 bleed for plus 2 dice power and all damage. On hit, inflict 3 bleed and inflict 2. Bolt next scene. Head to head. On use, draw 1 page this scene and gain 4 bleed next scene. On hit, inflict 3 bleed next scene and inflict 2.
Now die!
On use, gain 9 bleed for plus 3 dice power and all damage. On kill, consume all bleed to gain bleed consumed shield next scene. On hit, inflict 3 bleed next scene. On clutch win, inflict 4 bleed next scene. And on hit, inflict 2 bleed next scene. Here's my thinking. If we can get at least one of these pages, and we have 2 floors to try, it might help us out quite a bit. I actually think doing a full Rusted Chains build on Hod's floor will probably be more effective than the Carnival, but we can always put the Carnival passive on. Alright, our goal is just to kill one of them. We're also going to see how much of a detriment it is to put bleed on them ourselves. Okay, the fact that they're resisting tailoring is real scary, and also does not bode well for us. Ooh, that shielding they're getting is actually pretty crazy, too. Alright, we're going to go for Axe on Hod because she has the most stagger resist. Okay, they all have a tiny bit of shield, but that's fine. We could go Fascinating Fabric already, just to try and resist. In fact, I think we're going to do just that. Although our chant 34 bleed on Anise. Wow. Yikes. Okay. We only have to kill 1. So, hear me out. Why don't we try and focus fire the one up top? Yeah, I'm going to completely 300 million% focus the one up top, and hopefully we can just get ourselves a kill. Fascinating Fabric coming back to bite us. That sucks. Okay, and unfortunately we're rolling too low to win a lot of these clashes. Well, let's do this on Hod. I think we just, yeah, honestly, I think we want to index. That might be the play. Fascinating Fabric once again. I'm going to counter it with our own. And then let's do Fine Silk. More Fine Silk. And then let's also do some tailoring. Then I'm just going to go for tailoring and will be tasty. There we go. Alright, let's try. Good chance Hod dies this scene, but if we can just get 1 kill, it doesn't even matter if we die. Okay, good stuff. More Fascinating Fabric. Anise goes down. Hod goes down. Indexing, unfortunately, does not appear to be working. Well, hear me out. Fascinating Fabric. And tailoring. And just hope for the best. we do get a stagger. That does leave him relatively low health. Not quite enough. Actually, we are the fastest ones on the field. We can get one attack, so let's go with tailoring and hope that it does enough to where the next floor we bring in is able to kill him. Okay, 20 damage, so 119. I think we can do this. Yesod's floor hits incredibly hard. Let's just hope it hits hard enough. Okay, we are doing some good damage. He's down to 17.5 health. So close. 6 health. This is gonna be good. This is gonna give us an edge. We are just fighting for literally anything that we can get right now. Let me see. We don't have enough charge for this to be fully worthwhile, but whatever. We're gonna use it anyway because nothing else matters. All that matters is the kill. Could go Binding Arms. I don't think it'll be worth it. Let's go for Shocking Blow instead, and let's go for Charge Up to tank the damage as well. Okay, we absolutely got him. And there it is. Now we have an advantage that we did not have before. If this is what I gotta do, then so be it. I will do what I must. I will gain an advantage, and I will not be stopped. Let's see, I actually think we can dish out quite a bit of damage this scene. We don't have quite enough charge, so you know what? We're gonna go for You Only Live Once. Maybe we'll get a kill, maybe we won't. Ow. Unfortunately, we don't out-roll him. He does quite a bit of bleed to us, but that's fine. We don't win that clash, that's not quite as fine. Ooh, he does die to bleed, but we lost that clash very, very bad. Okay, well, if you're not gonna pay attention to me, then I'm just gonna hit you with everything I've got. Outrolled us anyway. Oh my god. Well, that's game, set, and match, I guess. Well, we get some more charge. Unfortunately, he doesn't have enough bleed to actually die this turn either, but you know what? We got multiple books. It's still a victory. Every little bit counts. It's time to burn. We get 4 of the pages. We don't get any of the really good stuff, but we do get 4 pages. Okay, so let's read through this passive here. Blood Rush, dice power. After giving bleed, gain bleed and bleed up. Okay, more bleed. Okay, so it's not perfect, but an edge is an edge, dude. We've made more progress in this episode than the last 2, I'm pretty sure, because... Okay, let's put together a bleed build, and then let's try to deal with the robots again. We take that. We take that. That's Alec dead. We take that, dude. All right. Not even a challenge. Technically, we've defeated Gay's office at this point because we've killed all 3 of them.
It doesn't even matter that I've lost this victory, because the war is won. I have what I need, and you have nothing but a body that will reconstruct itself in mere moments. Oh, I do so love the taste of cheese in the morning. Dude, that should not have worked, but it did. Oh, it did.
So, I'm going to very quickly go through our builds because they're nothing super intense. But with that, I believe that's going to do it for this episode of the Library of Babel. So, now that I've got the wind in my sails once again, and we've gotten a handful of victories under our belt, although partial victories, I'll be the first to admit that. They're partial victories. They barely even come close to full victories. It's still a win. Progress is progress. We got 1 full fight done. We got all the pages from Gay's workshop, and we just got the workshop pages. Cheesy or not, it's still a victory in my book. At the very least, it helps me with making progress, because good lord, I'm surprised we even got 1 battle done in this one. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And apologies for the wait. The next episode will not take nearly as long because I'm no longer on my break for now. We'll see how I feel in a few episodes. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.